It's time to step inside the Octagon with your host, Ike Feldman.
What's up, fight fans? It's your boy, Ike Feldman. 30 seconds ago, I was sleepy, but now I picked it up because I'm talking to my main man, Ryan Sipavicius. He's not a sip of viciousness. The dude is a big gulp of viciousness. If he catches you on the mats, in the cage, in the ring, on the streets, he'll probably help you up if you fall. If you knock your books over, he'll put his coat down over a puddle. But if you catch him on fight night, you better watch out. My man Ryan, what's up, brother?
Hey, how you doing, brother? Thanks for having me.
I'm exhausted. That took a lot out of me.
That was a great
I should have known when you said let's do this after I get out of work. I don't know why I thought you were like a janitor in a high school and like you just do shadow boxing and like with the broom or some like Miyagi story. But you're living the martial arts lifestyle. Talk to me about how like I don't know, a day in the life of Ryan Sipavicius looks with the training, with the teaching, strength conditioning, and all that.
Yeah. So I train up at headquarters, Tiger Schulmann's headquarters in Jersey, in Elmwood Park with the rest of the fight team. I'll usually go up, do that first thing in the morning. From there, I drive out, 10 minutes away to Edge Pro to do either, depending on the day, I might go and do physical therapy at Edge Pro in Paramus, or I might go to that same facility and do strength training with some of the guys at TNT. After that, I'll drive straight to work over here. I'm at the Tiger Schulmann's Middle Village. I'm the head instructor here.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I'll start, I started out my classes at 4:30 and I'm teaching all ages. I got 3.5-year-olds and I got adults of all levels. So
wow.
After that, I do a little bit of bag work at the end of the day. My students motivate me. So after that, after that last class, I'm like, all right, let me wrap up my hands and just hit the bag a little bit. That's it. Go home, shower, and then repeat.
I was asking Freddie Vidal, who's making his pro debut for LFA in a couple of weeks, fought on Flex a couple of times. Look out for Mr. Vidal in the future. But in between, like, I don't know, like teaching a move, 1 or 2 move combo, and then like you send off with your kids, maybe get them to do it for 2 or 4 minutes. Are you doing like burpees, push-ups? Are you like maximizing? Like, how does anything change when it's a fight camp?
Yeah. I mean, look, I got helpers and stuff here. I got my manager here who can also teach classes. So during fight camp, that's actually what we did today. I taught almost every class, and in the last class, I'm like, hey man, like, take this last class. I'm gonna go and hit the bag. Just
Nice.
I'm only 3 days out, so I just got to keep a sweat going.
Nice. And again, if you guys want to follow Ryan, I'm sure he's going to have merch coming. You could do that. A gulp of viciousness. I'll take the 15%. Follow him on Instagram at Ryan Sipavicius. And the reason why we're connecting, I feel like I should have mentioned this. October 4th, Combat at the Garden, Lou Negles. Combat at the Garden. Shout outs to Lou, shout outs to Ryan Munkin and all the wonderful people that are putting on this spectacular event in MSG, the theater. Are you big into visualization? I mean, that ceiling in the theater is unmistakable. I don't know if you've been down there for an MMA fight or a concert or boxing. But it's are you having these vivid dreams or visualization, catching yourself daydreaming during the day, just thinking about the theater and walking out to MSG?
Yeah, man, definitely. I mean, I've been there before to watch a PFL event when one of our guys, when Shane Burgos was fighting. And I remember being there and I'm like, dude, this is like sick, man. Like I'm looking around, I'm just, embracing the moment. I'm like, like that's it was like a small thought, like, yeah, I want to fight here one day. Of course, that's the goal, right? But I didn't think it would come so soon.
Right.
Okay, yeah, PFL, UFC days, like later in the future. And then out of nowhere, Lou's like, yeah, we're going to MSG October 4th. I'm like, what? So I was like looking around, that moment. And then when I found out we're fighting at MSG, I'm like I try to visualize it. I'm like, what the hell did it look like again? But like I could definitely look. I always take a bunch of people with me. The energy is always crazy, so I just picture myself on that walkout, freaking noise, just locked in. So visualization is a big part of my preparation always.
Speaking of your people, a lot of Long Island guys obviously fill up the Westbury card, and Jersey guys, Westchester guys make their way to the card. But dude, this is your stomping ground. This is your backyard. This is NYC. Did Lou give you 1,000 tickets out of like the 5,000 and say, "All you, kid"?
Well, look, there's a reason I'm the last amateur fight on the card.
Oh, okay, okay, excellent, excellent. I like the confidence, and it's not only confidence, but you put in the work, and you're walking the walk, not just talking the talk. Talk to me about what improvements you've made. Is it your reactions and strength and conditioning, or like reflexes, or something, or is it like technique? Do you feel what do you feel that you're honing in the most on this past training camp?
Honestly, I mean, look, this is probably the biggest break I've taken since my last fight. It's been a little bit over a year since I fought.
Are you itching?
Oh, dude, yeah. But like in that time, I've been able to put together, just improve in all areas, honestly. Like strength and conditioning, like I said, I started working out with the guys after training. So I feel stronger, I'm in better shape. I've been hitting a bunch of cardio, so my cardio feels better than ever.
Nice, nice.
Technique wise, I was talking to my head coach Julio Arce, and I was like,
Oh
hey,
wow! Shout out to Julio.
shout out to Julio, he's the
Just
man.
got a win in Atlantic City.
Yep. So I was telling him, I'm like, man, like I feel like I just used to be better, like more bouncy in the cage. I used to feel like I was in the pocket more, just getting in there. He's like, dude, you're being a smarter fighter. You're picking when and how to go in, like picking your shots. And then I look at it and I'm like, he's right. Like I'd watch my sparring and I'm like, I'm just being a more composed fighter, just slightly, just looking more professional. So I think all around, I'm just being more professional in my approach, towards the fight. So game planning a lot more. So, all around just improving.
Excellent. Speaking about being more professional, you plan to turn this into something to pay the bills?
Oh yeah, definitely. Um, you know, I'm all in. Do I have a plan B if something goes wrong, if all goes wrong? Yes, but I don't like to think about plan B because if you got a plan B, that means you're not focused on plan A, right?
Right.
Um, yeah, man. I like we've spoken about before. This is my last kickboxing fight. God willing, I could get out of there. Undefeated, get another knockout, have a nice little resume, do my jujitsu tournaments, and get into MMA right away. I'm 25 and I'm young, but not that young in the sport. You got guys like Raul Rojas who are freaking straight out of high school and they're freaking already in the UFC. You know what I mean? So I just want to get the ball rolling and keep it rolling. So I want to get through that amateur stage and get it right into pro, hopefully make it to the big stage. I got a Julio who's, he's on the UFC roster and he's got the blueprint. I just got to follow what he says.
Excellent. And he'll be cornering you, of course.
Of course, of course.
Nice. Do you guys hang out outside of the gym? Like how much camaraderie is a part of this relationship?
Me and Julio, we're like brothers, man. He's like an older brother to me. I've been training under him since I was 3 years old.
Wait, what?
Yeah, man.
No, you've been to over 2 decades?
Yeah, man. I've been
Oh my God.
with Tiger Schulmann since I was 3 years old. So
Oh my God. All right. So what's the biggest holes you see when you watch these the MMA fighters kick? Like is it like, oh my God? Because my wife, 11-year Shotokan black belt in Europe, competed in championships, won a few medals, and she just watches, like, she's my kicking coach, and she just watched the MMA guys, and she's like, "Ugh, like why are they spinning? Like why are they showing their back?" Like she just points out like mistakes. Oh, what are your thoughts about the game? Do you see it progressing? Like obviously Izzy and Pereira took it, or Pereira took it to the next level of Anderson Silva. But what are your thoughts about striking in MMA overall?
it's always evolving. This is one of the fastest evolving sports today. Um, I feel like kicking is the hardest thing for guys. Besides wrestling is really tough for somebody to just pick up. But the technique behind the kick, to be fast, but also have impact and be an effective kick,
Mm.
it takes a lot of time, man. Like, and I know this, like, not even looking at MMA guys because they're in the gym training every day. I mean, I'm looking at beginners and kids, and it's just like the body mechanics are kind of pretty tough to just pick up. Just that pivot, just the idea of a pivot is tough for the majority of people. So to once you get that pivot down, it's like, okay, now how can I set up my kicks? How can I let that kick out and have it be a strong kick? It's a lot, you know what I mean? But the biggest thing is the body mechanics. But I mean, Tiger Schulmann, we come from a karate background, so like
Of course.
since a young age, it's like do it again, pivot, do it again, do it again, do it again, and it's just repetitions over the years. Like the got my kicks the way they are.
There's obviously some crossover kicks. You have the teep, and it's called like different things. Teep, front kick. I've learned from my wife the Mayagati. Do you guys call it the same thing? Okay, it means like the toe jab, like the we saw Sean O'Malley do to Marab. Shout out to Marab as obviously getting the win. Um, my point is Muay Thai has got the calf kicks. Taekwondo has got the spinning back kick. Uh, are you guys allowed to bring those into your teachings? Does it derail some of the traditional teachings from the Shoman karate? How does that work? Like, if you could take me behind the scenes of like instruction or like new techniques, because it's hard to miss what we're watching in the UFC. It's everywhere.
Right. I mean, look, we're like I said, we evolved from karate to MMA. You know,
Oh, that's true. You guys do have, yeah. So it's got to be.
constantly, bringing in.
That is true. I heard Shane said they did like boxing. They went to a boxing gym, right?
Yeah, we're always going to boxing gyms.
Got you. That was a dumb question. That was dumb.
Elijah said you once that we got like a bunch of Russian guys that come in, and we got a Russian Olympic coach who's helping us with our wrestling. But
Really?
yeah,
Oh my God. All right. This is happening behind the scenes. This is the stuff I'm talking about, bro. You're bringing in the Ruskies with the wrestling. Is
oh
this
yeah,
guy like, does he have like the V-neck sweater that like doesn't come off? Like he's got the hair on the back? Like
I don't know, but he's got the thick accent, and that's good.
I'm I'm picturing some like kettlebell swinging guy who's like missing an eyeball. He's like, "Oh, Ryan, good to see you."
Short, that's on point. Short, stocky guys.
Oh, amazing. How much do you because obviously you're kickboxing, you're an elite kickboxer. I would say that you're like ready for UFC striking, but obviously you got to build up the attributes. If we're looking at you as like a video game character, we got to build up the grappling, the clinch, dirty boxing, all that. Do you play with it at all? The jujitsu, judo, wrestling, cage wrestling. Do you play with that at all, or not yet?
No, of course. I
Oh,
mean, look,
nice.
we're training even in camp. I'm still doing, our jujitsu classes, our wall wrestling class.
Wow, that's amazing.
We have one of our guys, maybe you might know him, Bobby Casal.
Not sure. I'm sure I'll find out soon.
He was training over in Sanford in Florida before it was Killcliff, and he
Nice.
here and joined us. He joined our team, and the dude cornered Amanda Nunes in her title fight against Joanna Pena.
Got you. Okay.
Young kid too. He's 25. You know what I mean? And like his wall wrestling and jiu-jitsu is top tier. And like he was working with me here in Middle Village. So like, me and him we would finish classes and we do a little bit of extra work. So like, and he's just so good, with the ground stuff, wall wrestling, and he teaches at headquarters. He teaches the rest of the team. So I'm always working that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's not like, okay, I'm done with kickboxing fights. Let me introduce jujitsu and wrestling for the first time. I've been doing jujitsu as a kid. Tiger Schulmann's evolved and added in jujitsu when I was still very young. So I've been doing jujitsu and kickboxing for almost just as long.
Nice, amazing. That I think you're in the sweet spot, man. Even if it takes to 28, 29 at most, 29 at most. I believe you fight smart. You're around a smart team, and you're well equipped for the future. Obviously, having an active UFC fighter as a freaking brother, as a coach, as basically family. Like that's pretty amazing. Um, Dana White Contender Series, is that the goal? Like
Yeah,
before 30? Like, do you see it happening?
yeah, 100%. I mean, definitely well before 30. I'm trying to stay active. You know what I mean? I mean, if we're looking at a very active year, a very active schedule, I'm trying to get into MMA by next year. Get 3 or 4 fights in, go pro. Maybe 28, 28, 29, just about 30. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's right around the age I'm about to name drop. I just talked with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson a couple hours ago. Donnie was there, so it's going to be released very soon. It was pretty. Donnie's like, "Yo, for real? I want to talk to Wonderboy." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." It was like, "Oh shit."
Cool, man.
But Wonderboy, I think he got in like 29, like at earliest, maybe
Only
30.
still got in around 30, 31, I think, 29.
There you go. And it's Wonder Boy hasn't been hit that much in his career, because of the striking. Is he not a black belt in jiu-jitsu? And we could question Alex Pereira's black belt in jiu-jitsu, but more than anything, I think the footwork can act as anti-wrestling. Have you ever thought about that? Like,
Oh,
if you're sucking a wrestler in and you're popping it out, they're lunging at nothing. They're literally they're telegraphing their shots, and anybody who sees a shot coming, it might be easier to either just push the forehead away, or get the double unders and shift them away. Do you believe that too? That having great footwork and striking can work as an anti-wrestling technique?
oh yeah. I mean, look, footwork is huge for whoever. It doesn't matter who you are, what kind of style you fight, or what kind of style you're fighting against. I think footwork is huge. It's also, if we're talking about a wrestler, it's certain strikes that you can throw at them that kind of make them think over shooting on you. Maybe like just constant front kicks up the middle, or just like,
Mm.
fake that little uppercut. What are those two heavyweights? Curtis Blades, they got, and
Aspinall,
no, Lewis.
Derek. Oh, right. The whoop.
Yeah, exactly.
That was scary. That was, yeah.
So
Time that.
if you're threatening it or threatening those front kicks, it's like, okay, I gotta avoid that to get my shot in. So it's that and footwork. That's definitely some anti wrestling kind of approaches.
Um, Last couple again, guys. If you want to follow Ryan on Instagram. Do you have any other social media account? TikTok, Twitter?
No, just Instagram.
At Ryan Sipavicius. The last amateur fight, Combat at the Garden, this Friday, October 4th. MSG, holy moly, Lou pulled it off. Probably held the gun to the guy's head, said, "You better do this." Or when just kidding, I'm just kidding, Lou. Oh, maybe he's not watching this far into the interview. But let's reset. We talked about Dana White contenders. We talked about getting into the UFC, 3 years pro. Dude, talk to me about your opponent. Why are you walking out of there on Friday with your hand raised?
Um, Look, like I said, the amount of experience I got over a lot of these amateur guys is just like I just have more mat time, more sparring time. Just been around this sport for so long. My confidence, and it's not the only thing I rely on. That wouldn't be right. I work hard, man. You know what I mean? Like I put in the work. I'm extremely confident in my ability, and every fight I've just been feeling more dangerous and more dangerous and more dangerous. Like I got people constantly telling me that I'm on that next level already. I just gotta get through these fights. You know what I mean? I think I like to take it a fight at a time, but I also like to think way ahead. It's just like I should be there already. I should be at the top level. There's no way this kid's getting in my way this early in my career. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna pull this off in front of all my people, in front of my family. I'm gonna defend my belt and then finish off. It's gonna be a beautiful night, man. It's gonna be.
And I think the hardest part is to stay focused, because you've heard this saying, if you lose, somebody will say, "Oh, don't worry, the 0-0 once you turn pro." How do you stomp that out? That theology? Are you able to just focus on the moment and not think ahead? Like literally just be present because, dude, this is your biggest stage you fought on. Like, have you visualized of just reminding yourself, or is it just a part of who you are in your DNA to just task in front, task handled?
Yeah, I think it's it's. I'm not gonna say everybody has that thought, but you think, it's like, what if something goes wrong? What if it's not my night? But every time that little thought goes through my head, I literally, and I'm thinking of it, right? I'll blur it out loud. I'm like, no freaking way. I was like, not happening. No freak. There's no way I'm losing at Madison Square Garden, losing my belt in front of all my people. There's no freaking way. Like, it's not an option. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to kill me because, dude, I'm coming for his head, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no way. There's just no way. I got the task at hand. When I'm in there, I just get into a flow state, and I don't feel the pressure. I don't hear the noise. I just do what I got to do, and then I'm in the moment afterwards. You know what I mean? I take in the noise. I take in all the cheering, the stage that I'm fighting on. When I'm walking out, I'll take it in. When I'm in the ring, I block it all out and take care of the task at hand.
Wow. Love it. Love it. Sorry to turn up the heat on the question, but I appreciate the answer and the honesty and the confidence. I can really feel the confidence. I believe you and Donnie Arena, who previously spoke with, will get the win. You guys have done the work. There's a quote I heard from a Super Bowl winning coach. If you are prepared, you have nothing to be worried about. You can stomp out that doubt because deep down you put in the work. You, God, and your opponent will know how much work you put in. So it's basically, that's what I love about fighting. It's the truth is always revealed on fight night. The truth is always revealed. Conor McGregor, maybe he's disappeared from his humble roots. We saw that with the DP fight. But maybe he could get back to it. We'll see. But the point is, Ryan, you are humble, you are grinding. You were that pre-Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor, pre-Eddie Alvarez. You're on the grind, man. Shout outs to you, Team Tiger Schulmann's of Middle Village. Again, folks, follow him on Instagram at Ryan Sipavicius. I can't wait till the merch line is dropping. And one of the days, now that I know that you're a Long Island, New York, Queens guy, maybe pop in, do a day in the life of Ryan Sipavicius. Are you first den, second den? What den are you in?
Second degree.
Let's go. That's a big deal, man. That's like getting that second den is incredible. I appreciate you, brother, and good luck. God bless. Have fun.
Thank you so much for having me, brother. You're more than welcome to always come do an interview. Talk to me whenever you want. You're the man.